are live. This
Oh
is
shit!
246 with the ARW champion right here. The
Oh, you watch your mouth. Let's not throw up false flags and tell lies as soon as we meet the people.
yeah.
But I am repping an ARW shirt, and I posted on Instagram that the podcast was about to go live, and that people should subscribe to the motherfucker. And that was as I was setting up the lights, and I was like, I'm wearing an ARW shirt. This is the shirt of the wrestling promotion, wrestling school that I trained under when I was learning how to wrestle in Ohio. And it was headed up by a wrestler named Matt Justice. And I shouted him out and told people to follow him. And he's been killing it, man. He's really been fucking killing it. What's hilarious, though, and I hope he can fucking watch this, I'm going to post this little section on Instagram just to make sure that he fucking watches this. He used to tell us, don't be doing stupid shit. There's no need to jump off of shit, be falling down and breaking your fucking neck and shit. Learn how to fucking work. And we were like, yeah, that sounds good. And he's totally out there jumping off of shit, being wild as fuck. But it looks like he's having the time of his life. So I support that motherfucker in everything he does and in anything he wants to jump the fuck off of. So shout out to him, and I appreciate him and Marty Bell for giving me a chance to wrestle, because it doesn't make any fucking sense for my tiny black ass to be in a wrestling ring, even in this modern time. What's funny about wrestling and me is that I don't actually believe I should be a wrestler at all. I think it's fucking inappropriate, actually, for me to be in a wrestling ring as a performer, because I'm so fucking small. And so it, in a sense, it gives away the fact that it's a work. There's no way that I would be allowed to fight Francis Ngannou in a real fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That would never be fucking sanctioned anywhere in the world. So if I hit Francis Ngannou and he falls down, all dramatic, it looks fucking stupid. And people do that all around the world. And I would not want to be a part of that. I wanted to learn how to wrestle so that I had more credibility as I got older and wanted to be a part of the business. I see myself as someone who's a referee, a valet, who maybe learns how to do booking, I want to be backstage. That's my dream in wrestling, is to help create matches and help create wrestling. That's what I want to do. I don't want to wrestle. I just don't want to not have the experience of wrestling and then tell someone else how to do it. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so since people are allowing tiny motherfuckers to wrestle, I will take advantage of that as long as it is appropriate. But I don't want to have a match where I hit a fucking giant dude and he falls down like I'm a fucking giant dude, because that looks fucking dumb as shit to me.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I love pro wrestling way more than I think I even realized. Last night, for the last 3 nights, I've sat in my room and watched pro wrestling. I watched a promotion that I never ever watched, that I had no real interest in, just because I noticed that there were so many guys in it who were doing really, really well right now in other promotions. And because it was super available. Are you familiar with the company Vizio, this TV
Yes.
company? They make TVs.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have a Vizio TV?
I actually don't.
Okay. So I happen to have a Vizio smart TV in my bedroom that I purchased because it was the cheapest TV of a brand that I was familiar enough with that I knew it wasn't going to break right away, right?
Right.
I knew I could buy it and it wouldn't just blow itself up in a week. So, and it was the cheapest thing there. So I grabbed it. There's also a big one in our secondary living room, right? That might be the bougiest thing I've said in weeks.
Your
secondary living room.
Secondary
But that's what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And there's one over there. And one day I noticed that they're watching Robin Big. And I'm like, oh, is this on YouTube? And Casey looks at me and he's like, no, dude. And I'm like, well, the fucking picture is so good. What is this? He goes, it's called Pluto TV. And I go, oh, is that an app? He goes, yeah, dude, it's free television shows, free movies, just streaming all the time on your Vizio TV. And I go, what the fuck? I go to my room and I turn on the TV. There are 2 channels that are of high interest to pro wrestling fans. There are 4 channels that are probably of high interest to MMA fans.
Yeah.
That are just free streaming events all the time. There's a channel called Impact Wrestling, which is a fucking promotion. They have a channel where they just show their events all the fucking time. There's a channel called Stadium that shows Ring of Honor. You can't watch Ring of Honor, nigga. Like, it's just on my TV all the time. Fucking Glory Kickboxing is a channel
Really?
on my TV.
That's kind of dope,
What
actually.
the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's fucking madness. And so I've been watching some of that. I had to bring it down. I was getting too excited. I've been watching some of that and having a great time. And yeah, so like if you have a Vizio TV and you're not taking advantage of this app, Pluto TV, you're fucking up. Fuck with it. And if you do have a Vizio TV and you know about other streaming things that I don't fuck with or I don't know about, you better comment that shit in the fucking comments on this. And you better fucking hit me on my DMs on Instagram at HeGloriousTiny and educate a tiny man. Make sure that I know. Because the fact that I can watch that much shit, MMA, kick.
Oh. Oh no. Darren, you still there? Hold on, we having some technical difficulties. It's
okay.
He's back.
I'm not afraid. I don't get shook. Oh, technical difficulties.
I'm just, Anthony, I don't know if you ever heard this, but I'm unbreakable.
Look.
It's like,
look, man. I just finished a workout. I've been lifting weights, you know?
Getting strong.
And like every dude that's been lifting weights for like a year, I don't wear sleeves whenever possible.
Of course. Why would you?
No, really. Really what it came down to is,
what is going on today with the internet? Unbelievable. This is my...
Or maybe a lot of people are trying to stream at the same time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can even come off the Wi-Fi and see if that makes it better.
No, don't do it. It's not you. It's my connection. It's just...
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was lifting with Matt Levy for a year. I know you lift with him now.
Yeah.
And then we've been lifting very consistently since I moved to Las Vegas. But like all of my t-shirts used to be smalls, right? And they were tight when I got them. And I didn't have any shoulders then, right? So like shirts that I loved, I outman. And like not by a large amount, but when you're just riding that razor's edge already, I'm like, is that shirt too small? And then you don't actually gain weight, you change shape a little bit. So like now that I have a shoulder, all of those shirts, they went, like the sleeves just jumped up my shoulder. Does that make sense?
They ripped off. Yeah, the sleeves just ripped off, I heard.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Go fuck yourself. I'm saying that they got so inappropriately small and I was so attached to them that the only way to save them was to turn them into tank tops and muscle tees. It was the only way to save the shirt.
I get what you're saying. You're just so muscly ripped to the shirt. They just ripped right there. That's the sound effect it makes when you rip with your muscle.
All right. Since you're being a son of a bitch, I'll be a son of a bitch. Right. You want to talk about ripped?
Yeah.
Well, how ripped was John Jones when he parked his car in the middle of a goddamn street and started playing with a pistol, apparently, and drinking tequila, apparently.
Shout out to
What the fuck is going on? You're supposed to be under quarantine. And you're out in the streets with a pistol and a bottle of liquor. And I've read a couple different reports on this John Jones thing.
Yeah.
I've read a couple different reports on it. And they've listed conflicting things. Not necessarily conflicting things, but inconsistent things. So I've seen that he was charged with 3 things, and I've seen that he was charged with 4 things. Have you seen this?
I've seen the 3 things. I haven't seen the 4 things. I've seen, like, drunk...
Look at the USA Today article right now. Pull up USA Today's article. The TMZ article listed 3 things. And the USA Today article listed 4. One of them was like negligent use of a firearm Another was aggravated DUI. Another one was open container. And in the USA Today article, it listed another charge, a fourth charge. Now, he was on probation until January. They said, I think, if I remember right, January 8th. Now, I'm pulling that off the top of my head from reading these articles this morning, so I could be wrong. The reason why I didn't look into it too heavily, I spent literally 15 minutes looking at this, and then I had to stop. And I was sitting in a room with Jess and Casey and Angela, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I've been this guy's fucking mark for a long time. Like, every time he does something, I'm like, well, come on, guys.
Oh, good.
And I'm never one to be, like, super judgmental. Because I require a great deal of forgiveness myself, right? Just to be my fucking friend requires a great deal of patience and forgiveness. But then I think to myself, how many times can Jon Jones put himself in a position where he can literally be in prison for the rest of his life by making even a small mistake, considering all the factors? So if I'm drunk in a vehicle with a pistol, right? If I'm drunk in a vehicle with a pistol,
Yeah.
I can do way too many dumb things in a very quick moment. Does that make sense?
Of course.
So I would never put myself in a motherfucking situation where I was drunk with a pistol in a vehicle. Like, I do other dumb shit. Like, let's not, like, I'm not going to front. And I'm also not going to fucking break kayfabe and say everything I do.
There you go.
What I'm saying is that I do dumb shit too, bro. But, like, once you start compounding dumb shit, like, I'm drunk. You're already dumb. I'm drunk and I'm in a vehicle. Dumb plus dumb. I'm dumb in a vehicle with a pistol. Dumb plus dumb plus dumb. Really dumb times dumb times dumb. Now, how many times are we going to watch a man put himself in this kind of position? Just got off probation. There's a quarantine, so there aren't that many motherfuckers out in the streets. So if you do some wild shit, you can't disappear into the crowd. Somebody go see. This is literally the worst time to fucking misbehave. Fucking breaks my heart. But, like, the reason why it breaks my heart is because I think I have my heart broken for the last time. I think I'm done being that fucking girl that gets beat by the dude and drugged down the street by her hair and then gets seen walking right back up to the house with a smile on her face. I'm done walking up to the crib with a face and a plate full of mac and cheese from
Jesus Christ. Why? Why?
I won't do it. And if it's suffering, if the internet is suffering,
Mm-hmm.
and the audio is fine,
Yeah.
then let's not even acknowledge it when it happens. You do your best to fix it. If it can't be fixed, then we just fucking scrap it.
All right. It can't be fixed because when the internet goes out, you go out. So it's just me
So
screaming.
then, look, are we live right now
Yeah, we're still live.
on the internet?
Yes.
Well, look, let's just make it so that this is really just a promo for them. If you want to fuck with the podcast, because frankly, not that many people fuck with it on YouTube anyway. Most of the people that religiously or just like consistently listen are listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or some shit like that. So if you would like to know my opinions on things like this, if you would like to hear the kind of daily journal of my little life, if you give a Frenchman's fuck about Anthony or I, then subscribe to us on YouTube. Then subscribe to us on iTunes. Listen to the full episodes. There are 245 of them besides this one to fucking listen to.
Yeah.
So really, you're late. And I love you, even though the internet connection, the live feed doesn't love us. I love you. So, Anthony, I say we say goodbye to YouTube, and we can